So hi there, this is Deborah Landry, and I'm going to show you today how to do this painting of a shallow dish of succulents. So you're going to have your pattern here, and then this is your piece of canvas. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our tracing paper down. You're going to be real gentle with it, just so that it doesn't smear. And then we're going to put this here like this. And this is where, if your drawing is a little off here, you just want to make sure that you have it. You're going to put the drawing where you want it on the canvas. So this here is a little bit close to the edge, so I'm going to just kind of shift it over a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to be really careful, and I'm going to systematically start at the top here. And all I need is just the smallest little indication of where my drawing is. So I'm just going like this. The drawing is actually a little bit more detailed, but I can just do the outline here and just get the gist of my drawing. And then what we're going to do is once you have this kind of outlined here, then you're going to be able to take a Sharpie and actually draw this on the canvas. So I don't really need all the detail in here, just general detail so I have my drawing. So I'm just moving really pretty fast here. I'm using just a little stylus, but if you get kind of lost, it might be better if you had something like a blue ink pen, so that you can keep track of where you are. Okay. Definitely start from the top, or work your way systematically. So if you starting at the top, makes it a little bit easier, because then you're not putting your hand all over areas in which you've already drawn, and it's going to allow there to be a lot less smearing of the carbon. So I'm just moving very fast. Alright, so I'm doing this one here. Alright. So I did not put in all the little dots here, and then when I do this one, I'm not going to do all the jaggy edges. So I'm just going to I just need this to have just enough of an outline so that I can figure out and I can do all of that with the jaggy edge with the Sharpie marker. So just that should be pretty much it. So I'm going to keep my hand right here, check and see how well I did, and it looks like I just kind of missed a few little areas in this middle. So I just kind of get this little area in the middle here. All right. I think I did pretty good. Alright, so I'm just going to pull this up. So I have just the basic outline of the project here. And I forgot my Sharpie. I'm just going to grab a Sharpie. So if you could do this with a bold line, or you can do it with a little line. I like something like this. I have this right here was drawn with the smallest, the ultra fine Sharpie line. So I'm just going to go in here, and I'm going to start drawing this. And this is also where, if you're if you're not totally satisfied with one of the features of the drawing, you can kind of just shift it and make it look a little bit different, however you want. This is your artwork. So I'm just going to go in here. So I'm just following this, and I'm looking at my drawing a little bit as I go to see, like, so I kind of over here I had a little where you can see the edge of the succulent. So I'm just going to kind of put the edge in there on some of these. It just makes it look a little bit more realistic, just by, so it's not just a flat drawing. So you're kind of putting in some of the other shapes. So I'm going to just kind of go in there, give that a little edge there. Okay, so we've got 2 of them done so far. So let's do these that are standing up here. So I'm going to just kind of go here. All right, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and do all the leaves and get the leaves in there. And then once we have the leaves in there, then we will, I'll put in the stem. And you can add or subtract. So alright, so see how I'm just doing my shapes, general shapes here, getting the drawing down. Alright, and then I can go in and I can check and see, I can put some edges, put the edges of the leaves in here. Okay, and okay, so I'm on the edge there. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to just go ahead and put the stem in where I can put the stem. Just put the stem. There you go. And we got a stem there, and then kind of like that leaf is supposed to go over there, but that's okay. Alright, so now let's do this one. And I'm just putting the shapes in. Getting all my little shapes in there. I just added a leaf right there, that's fine. And I think this one needs a little additional leaf there. Okay. Alright, and then now I'm going to do the background guy right here. Alright. And he's a real textural succulent here. I'm going to get this part in. And then, okay. And then what I can do is go ahead and put the little texture on the outside there. Give them little pieces here. And these are the little succulents that when these little guys fall off, they become other little baby succulents. So that's what these are, little textures, little dots. Okay. All right. On this side too. Forgot. There you go. Okay, and let's do this guy over here. Alright, so this one I'm just gonna So as I'm drawing this one, I'm just going to do and make it, put the little, instead of making it smooth, I'm just going to go and make it jaggy. So the line's going to be just a bunch of little sharp edges. Just about done here with this little guy. So sometimes when you're doing something like this, it might be easier to do the leaf that's in the front and then do the leaf that's in the back. And so then you go back here, and that way you don't. So your lines are. And see this line here. So this leaf kind of falls ahead of you. It's kind of pointing out front. There you go. Okay. All right, so now let's let me kind of see. Let's make a little back here. All right, now we're going to just do the container. Okay, so get that all drawn out, and let's see here. So, oops, you can see right here is a leaf I didn't draw. Okay. So some of these are not as dark as I want them, so, alright, so I'm just going to darken where I need to darken. Alright, and then I'm going to take my eraser and take out any of the carbon line that I can. Just clean it up. And it also helps you see maybe where you've lost some of your lines. There you go. And right here. And right here. Okay. Alright, and I think this guy is a little. So you can go back over your lines. And what's nice about the painting is that once you have the color down, you can still go back and, because these lines always show up, because we're using we're using acrylics, which is a water-based paint, and then this line, these are an oil-based pen, so no matter how much paint you put down, you're always going to be able to see our black line. Okay, and let's see here. Just going to make some of this a little bit more bolder. See where I want more line. Okay, let's see if I like it. Okay, I'm just going to. So some of these little places just need, this turned out really dark, but some of these just didn't come out. Maybe I wasn't using as much pressure on the pen. So I'm just gonna go in. So I want them to be kind of show up a little bit more. And give them a little bit more. Okay. There we go. And even if you can kind of see, like, even if I kind of, this looks like a little scribble, that's fine. It'll all work out. Like right there's like a kind of a little scribbly looking thing too, but it'll all work out. Okay, fix that. All right. So now we have this ready to paint. Okay. So I'm gonna get this, and so mostly your succulents are greens. And so I'm just going to put down my color, and I'm just using a ceramic plate here to put down some color. Oops. And let's see how I need some. These little jars can be messy. Yellow for mixing. Just turn it around. All right, and so, and then you're going to want a bunch of water. All right. So you're going to start off with lots of water and just kind of make a color that you feel like is a little bit of a succulent color. So just kind of blend that. All right. And then, so the way that you want to paint this is you just want to use the lightest color first, which means you just want it to be very watered down, and you're going to put down your color. And you can, so the more water that you use, the lighter the color is, and then you can just add, and you just can kind of shift the different values or different colors with just a little dot of another color. So I can just kind of go like this, bring a little bit of blue, and bring another color in. So it's going to stay really, really light. And I can just keep on coloring these in. So it dries really fast, and then you'll be able to go in with more color. So with each little pass of color, so this is going to be dry. So with each little color pass, you'll be able to shift and make it more vibrant by adding. But you don't want to go too dark, because then then it just becomes too flat. So what I mean by flat is like it's all one value, so you don't have any variations. So I can go in here. I'm going to add a little bit, and so I can go in here and I can add and kind of shift this a little bit, and then kind of make it look like it has some this right in here would be where the shadow would be a little bit. So I can go in here and just add a little bit of color and give it so that it starts looking a little bit like it's three-dimensional. instead of like that's just a flat color. And then each time you can go in and just keep on adding just a tiny bit more, and then until you get it to the vibrancy that you want. And so some of these might have some of your, they might have a little bit more, like so the leaf might have just a little bit more color, a different color at the top, or the tip. So I'm going to just add a little bit of yellow at the tip of this little guy here, and give him just a little bit of a feeling that he has a yellow tip. Let's see here. There we go. Alright, and I think I'm still going to go in there and make the bottom, or the shadowy part, a little bit darker. So I'm going to go in, I need this a little bit darker. I might be able to add just a little bit of brown. So I just added a little brown. And then I'm going to go in here. There we go. Make this a little bit darker. Alright. And see how, like, because it's nice and wet, it's kind of blending. And I can go in, and then so it's kind of mixing a little bit here. It's just adding. Okay. So, and then what you can do also is, once this is kind of a little bit dry, you can go in and give it a little bit, if you wanted to give it a little pattern or something like that, you can do that. And then you can add more water, make it more blended. Okay. Awesome. All right. So go one of these guys down. Okay, so then I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna kind of make myself another type of green here. Maybe add, there you go. So add another kind of green. And so just with, so all these colors are nice and, they're called translucents. So as you put down a color, the next color is, you can keep on putting colors on top, and then each one of them will be, you'll be able to see them, each on top of each other. So I'm gonna kind of put this in here, and putting it down nice and light. And I'm just kind of stumbling it on there a little bit. Okay. All right. So then I want to put a little bit of dark in here on at the base, so that it looks like it has like a little bit of a shadow at the base here. Give it a little bit of color. Okay. And this little guy is going to have a little bit what's going to look like little red tips. So let's get the tips. Let's see here. There we go. All right. Use a little bit of this and see what I can do with the red. There we go. Alright. And see how just a little bit, just the tiniest bit of red, and it kind of blends right in. And it shows up right through, like the green. You can see the green underneath that. So I'm just going to tip it. Give each one of these like a little red tip. And actually this is not really red, or this is red oxide, so it's a brown red. But I'm just going to put the little tip here. And this just helps tell the story of like what your succulent is. Alright. So let's do this next one here. So make sure that you're keeping the colors light. And the reason you want to keep them light is so that you're able to keep on putting colors on top of it. So if you go in there bold, then it'll be really hard to put more colors, put more color on top, because you want each little layer to be able to be seen. Alright, this guy, I'm going to have him a little bit more yellow. So see, I'm putting the yellow right in there, and it's just kind of showing up right with the green. And you'll also notice that I'm not, I have the lines here, but I'm also, let's see if I can, I'm also not really like concentrating on making sure that I have all my little white spaces filled. And then even here, I just it kind of came outside the line, but just the looseness of this painting is what makes these so easy to do. All right, so now, let's see here. All right, let's see if I can make, all right, I'm gonna just make another color green, just add another little layer. Okay, so now I have a different color for green for this guy. And again, I'm gonna make sure I have lots of water, put it down lightly. Here, here, here. Okay. Here. I'm using just a really small paintbrush. Just get this down here. There we go. Alright, I'm going to do this guy's same color. Let's see here. Same color. And these colors just mix really well. So, because they're all transparent, you can't really make a color that's muddy or ugly. So it really looks nice. Okay. And let me see here. Let's do this guy, and then I'll just come back and we'll add some other dimensions of color. And you see I just keep on adding a little bit more water, just so I can keep this very, very light, so then I'll be able to put another layer on here. Okay. Alright. So this guy, what I want to do is I want to go in and give him just a little bit of a blue. A little bit of a blue feeling. Make him a little bit blue. And just kind of lightly put him, kind of give him a real feeling that he has just a hint of blue. And you know, some of the succulents have like they have a little kind of a fuzzy feeling too. So you're just gonna I'm just kind of skipping around, giving a little bit of a blue feel. There we go. All right, so you can obviously take, when you're doing yours, you can move around and shift around your colors the way you want to shift around. All right, so this one here, I'm gonna actually, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do nice dark green here. Start with the light, get myself a green again, and I think I'm going to put just a hint of the red and this one just so that it complements this other guy over here. And I just noticed that I missed a section of this, so that it wasn't, it was kind of lost over here. So here we go. There we go. Alright. Okay, so I got that. Alright, now we're gonna I'm gonna do just like I did before with just the tiniest bit of red. Just do a little hint of color. There we go. Now these are, now you can take pictures of your succulents and see, you know, and you can actually do some other things with this, like, so you could, you know, you could actually, if you wanted to, you could do this whole design in, you know, purples and blues. It doesn't have to be, you know, done like this at all, but, all right, so we got that. All right, so then so I'm gonna mix a color here that I'm gonna call dirt, and I'm gonna just go in here and I'm gonna make some dirt. Use lots of water. Just get the dirt here. There's going to be so much freedom here for you to be able to do your painting. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to take a dab of a little darker color. I just go in there and give it, you know, just let it sit down there where it could have some shadows. Just kind of give it some other color. And just go to the back. Okay, and I accidentally, let me see here, kind of went over my leaf with the brown, so I'm just going to fix that. That looks really nice. Okay, all right, and then I think I'm going to do my base here is going to be some blue. A container. There we go. Yeah, put lots of water here, getting it down. And the more water you put down, you can see it kind of runs, kind of blends a little bit. And I kind of just work with that. That's fine. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of a color up here. Alright, and let's get a little bit bigger paintbrush for the table. Alright, so I'm gonna make something that looks like it might be a little bit of a board. So we're just gonna have a wooden table. You could have a tablecloth, you could have anything you want here, but I'm just gonna make it look like it's wood. Wood color, and I'm going to use lots of water, and then I'm going to come back and give it some more color. And for this painting, I'm going to just leave the background white, but of course this painting is yours, so you can go back and do whatever you want for the background if you'd like. So a background that might look nice, you know, if you were to do this kind of a red color, you could do the background of blue. I wouldn't do the background green because you want your succulents to show up. But you can go back and you could probably, you know, you could put like stripes or something and make it kind of look like a wall or a wallpaper or something in the background. Alright, I need to give this a little bit of a shadow down here. So I'm just mixing a little bit of blue, giving it another color. So, okay. There we go. Alright, and then I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a texture. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry.